Good morning. This is Ann DeJoy from the Payne Arcade Business Association, and welcome to the 2019 Payne Arcade Harvest Festival Parade.
And I'm Jackie Maddix from SPNN, the St. Paul Neighborhood Network, and we're here sitting at beautiful Payne Avenue and Lawson in St. Paul, preparing for the 2019 Harvest Day Parade.
We got lucky with the weather again this year. It's what did we say? It was about 60 degrees?
It is 60 degrees, but it seems a little warmer. But then we are sitting right in some beautiful sunlight right in front of Vane Chiropractic here on Payne Avenue at 1030 Payne. And we want to send a big shout out to Vane Chiropractic for having us here. And we're also right across the street from the Party Shop on Payne Avenue, right near the Salvation Army. And we want to send a shout out to them for all the great work that they do as well.
We can hear a little bit of activity up in the lineup area at Geranium and also along Rose. And they'll be kicking off the parade any moment now. I'd like to recognize Rebecca Nelson, this year's parade coordinator. Rebecca is the Ultra Volunteer. She is active with the Eastside Lions Club, the Eastside Neighborhood Development Company, the Payne Arcade Business Association, and she works for Eastside Elders. But that's just a short list of the volunteer work that Rebecca does.
I heard you. You almost said a smidgen. It's a smidgen of what she does. That Rebecca, she gets around, boy. She sounds like the ultra volunteer, huh?
That's right. I don't know where she finds the time, but she manages to touch a lot of people. And we really appreciate her taking on the reins, and this is her first year coordinating the parade, and she's done a great job so far.
She's also going to be involved in the activities after the parade, correct?
That's right. For the first time, there's going to be the Eastside Community Festival or Community Celebration. That'll be held immediately after the parade at the YMCA on Arcade Street. The coordinator for that event is Leanne Larson, who worked very closely coordinating the parade and the festival with Rebecca. Another major player this year was Richard Finch, the owner of Eastside Pizzeria. He did a lot of the fundraising. They had several events where they raised money, and they also had a discount card where businesses offered discounts. You bought one card and then you could use your coupons to get discounts at the various businesses. So it was a very good effort to raise the money to pay for this year's parade.
I don't think people realize how much work goes into putting on something like this. So we want to send a big shout out and a love you to all the folks that helped coordinate today's event. Now, this event started in 1922, which means that if this is 2019, that's 97 years of the Harvest Day Parade here on Payne Avenue in St. Paul. We're having a wonderful time here on the east side. Looks like the police are on their way down the street because the police always begin the parade and end the parade. It's a safety feature, but it's also to let you know it's happening. Their lights are flashing. The parade is about to begin.
That's right. Before the parade, there was a group called the Payne Avenue Commercial Club, and they actually had a fall carnival, the Payne Avenue Carnival. So that predates the parade, and that started in 1908.
Oh my goodness.
So this organization that eventually became the Payne Arcade Business Association actually had been active back in 1908.
You know, that just gives you a sense of how long this community has been here in St. Paul. That's a lot of years. That's a lot of community. That's a lot of diversity right here in St. Paul. I don't think we give ourselves enough credit for that. Payne Avenue and the east side of St. Paul has always been one of our most diverse communities. And I think we need to give ourselves a big high five and a big pat on the back for that.
I would agree with that. It's very diverse. It continues to welcome new people and new businesses.
And keep the unity in community. They have done so all these years. I'm a longtime St. Paul native. I've lived here all my life, 65 years, and I love every part of St. Paul. I am a St. Paul booster, I guess you could say. I love what we do here, and I love how we go about it, including events like today's parade. 2019 Harvest Day Parade beginning right now. Looks like we have the police coming down the street right now, leading the way as they do here in St. Paul. It's the Harvest Fest Parade coming down the street. I'm looking forward to the Winter Carnival royalty. I love seeing them always dressed up in their outfits, and I think we're going to have the Prince and Princess of the East Winds coming down a little later. The mayor of St. Paul is supposed to be a part of today's event as well.
That's correct. And you mentioned Winter Carnival. Actually, this Harvest Festival Parade has had a strong connection to Winter Carnival. Years ago, we had a royalty program, and the Queen and the princesses that were involved in Harvest Festival went on to be involved in Winter Carnival. And several of our former festival queens went on to be the Queen of Snows for St. Paul Winter Carnival. So there is a strong connection between the two events.
See what I'm saying about how St. Paul coordinates and cooperates with each other. We've just done it for so long. I get a little bit sad when I think about how they keep trying to expand St. Paul and make it into this great big city, when as a small town, as a small city, we got it going on. And I don't think our founding fathers appreciate us for what we are and for what we do. We don't have to be somebody else. We are who we are, and we do it well.
I would agree with that. The capital city.
That's right. And if you don't believe me, wait till the Vulcans come down the street. I'm old enough to remember when they could kiss you and put that black ash on your forehead. Right. It was a thing of pride when the Vulcans would kiss you when you were a little kid, and you go home and you had the ash on your forehead. It means you were a part of the community. I love that. Here they come, and it looks like they're being followed by the ROTC from Johnson High School. Is that who that's ROTC? The color guard.
No, the first set of the first color guard represented is Washington Technology Magnet School. They have been in the parade for many years. They also have volunteers that help marshal the parade, so they do cleanup and they keep the crowds at bay. During any throwing of any candy, but Washington Magnet, it's the Navy, Junior Navy ROTC.
Oh, how wonderful. Mm-hmm. You know what? They look great in their uniforms. And I know it used to be non-PC to talk about the military, but these days, that's the only way a lot of kids get their college education paid for, and I'm all in favor of higher education. Kids going to college any way they can. These guys look great.
I'd like to recognize and appreciate the City of St. Paul's Police Department. They work very closely with us to coordinate this parade and make sure that there's traffic control, and they're really a big part of it.
You know, when I was a kid growing up, the St. Paul Police had a whole different connection to the community than what people are thinking these days. I had a disabled brother, and back in the day in the 60s, there weren't that many ambulances that would come to the black neighborhood and rush my brother to the hospital. St. Paul Police used to do that and help my mother and father quite a bit. So my heart goes out to the St. Paul Police Department.
Right now we have the American Legion Riders. This American Legion is located on Arcade Street and has been part of the parade for many years. The riders are also volunteers, and they do a lot for the community. They raise money, they give back to charitable causes.
And they ride fantastic bikes.
Yes, they do.
Look at them, those are great. You know, I can't help but notice that they're a little bit aged.
Yes,
our bike riders there, which is wonderful.
So Mike Hafner is driving this beautiful antique car.
Ooh.
And he is the escort or the driver for the Grand Marshal, Todd Fiske.
Todd Fiske. Hi, Todd.
Hi, Mike.
This is our Grand Marshal, and the Grand Marshal is part of Walking with a Purpose, correct?
Correct. Todd Fiske started Walking with a Purpose in 2014. They helped the homeless with clothes and other necessities. He does outreach and hosts a dinner every Wednesday night at the Bruce Vento Trail, at the entrance to the Bruce Vento Trail. There's Mayor Carter.
Right on. Oh, look, see, I told you wouldn't even
Yes.
recognize me. He looks like a kid just walking down the street. Look at that guy.
Shaking
There he
hands.
goes.
And
He's a man of the people, man. Look at him. Told you. He's a little bit out of order from our lineup,
Right.
but you wouldn't even recognize him. Look
No.
at him, blue jeans and a tracksuit jacket. But that's the mayor of St. Paul.
Right.
He
and
knows
that's-
what to do. He knows
that's
how to
his
go out and
security
touch
car
hands.
behind him. So.
Yeah. But there he is over there. But you
Good
know,
for him.
again,
Thank you for coming
that-
to the
that
east
goes
side.
that goes to how unique and always ahead of the curve that St. Paul is with our young black male mayor.
Right
Oh, here we
now, no parade is complete without a marching band. And here we have the St. Paul Police Band.
Right
They were
on.
formed by 3 police officers in 1923. The band now consists of police officers, retired
fine,
officers.
Mayor Carter. How are
and so-
you?
Hi, Mayor Carter.
yeah, yeah. Get on camera with us, baby. Yeah.
And there's
Yeah,
Councilmember Brenmoen.
Yeah.
Amy, good to see you. Thank you.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? We're ahead of the curve. We always have been. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming over and
That
hollering
was a
at
nice
us, see?
treat.
You know why? Because SPNN has always treated the mayor before he was mayor. We always treated him well, so he just turned right around and gave some love right back to us. SPNN and St. Paul's Mayor Melvin Carter, the third.
Engine company number 4 is rolling by from the St. Paul Fire Department.
I love my St. Paul services. I don't know, sometimes all these things, you get all PC and caught up in some of these things, and you think that these services aren't necessary or the folks aren't doing their proper job. But let me tell you, I think they are. They always have. The police and the fire department.
Family Values for Life is walking by, and that is Shatika Flowers, Executive Director.
Wow.
They do a lot of things for the youth in the community.
Well, you
And-
just got it down. You know all this stuff.
And the tow truck that went by has an Isaba banner on it, so that's the East Side Area Business Association.
Now, look at this old-fashioned car.
This is Jim Loeffler from Loeffler Shoes.
And this car probably is the same age that this parade started from the 1920s. Loeffler
looks-
shoes.
It looks like he had it painted recently.
It's beautiful, just for the parade, of course. Beautiful. And Terry Tao going by, and Terry Tao's running for city council.
Terry Tao is running for Ward 6. There she is with the green sign. Terry Tao has been in the community many years. She's a former St. Paul Planning Commissioner. She's a former board president of the Eastside Neighborhood Development Company.
So she's
And-
not in her car. She's out walking on the
Yes,
street so she can
she's
talk to
there.
the people.
Exactly.
There she is over there.
And she owns a home in the community. She's very popular and has been very active in community for many years.
Well, it looks like everybody just knows her, too.
Yes,
So, yeah. Very good. Right on, Terry Tao. So, I guess she's got their votes, huh?
Right?
Now, this coming down is extremely beautiful looking representation of the east side of St. Paul. We have, does it say indigenous roots?
Indigenous Roots. This organization started a few years back. We have Steve from the
Here it is.
Isaba, Eastside Area Business Association, bringing
Oh, he's
treats.
bringing us candy.
Thank you, Steve Ledeen.
You're offering some little girls candy. What's up with
Thank
that?
I got a lot to fill.
Excellent. So Indigenous Roots was started by Marianne Quiros and her husband Sergio, and they started as an Aztec dance group and then have expanded to, they host Indigenous activities from many different cultures at their space, which is on East 7th Street. So today they have representation from their Aztec dance group.
Wow.
And that's where
Just
the
look
drums.
at that. Isn't that's just fabulous? And in traditional costume, we have the Aztec dancers. And you know, I'm not quite sure, but I think that this not only is it people of Aztec orientation, but also indigenous Native American
That's
representation
correct. That's
as well.
correct. They also host a group from Puerto Rico as well that has.
See what I'm saying? Look at the
yes.
diversity of St. Paul.
Now, next,
Man.
it looks like Cyberside, and they're part of indigenous roots. We also have some folkloric dancers
God.
with their little mariachi suits and the beautiful. That white dress is from Veracruz. Cyberside,
man.
they do break dancing, and
Oh,
they
my
teach at
goodness.
indigenous roots.
And they're teaching the children, which is
That's
very
right.
important. It is important to hang on to your roots. Oh, look at this. On camera, this is fabulous. Look at the drummers. You could hear them before the parade began. Look at them.
Although it's lively, colorful, and entertaining, it actually represents a ceremonial dance that the Aztecs would have for any, whether in this case, harvest. They would celebrate the harvest and offer up to their god. One of the founders of the organization is right in front of us, Sergio.
With the gorgeous
Quiros.
legs hanging out.
Right? Right.
Yeah. That's enough reason to celebrate for me.
And his son is one of the drummers right here.
Look at this. And the carvings in the drums are representative. I'll get the word out right. I believe either rain gods or sun gods, but they're calling down the benevolence of the gods. Whoa. Pardon me?
Marianne Quiros is another founder. And coincidentally, Marianne is also running for city council
Well, she's got
for
my
Ward
vote.
7.
If she shows up dressed like that, she'll have everyone's vote.
Very
Look at
active
this.
in the community and doesn't
Oh my God,
and
this
is
is
committed to making sure that we don't forget our heritage and our indigenous roots.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Well, Minnesota,
Exactly.
Native American terminology that means big water, I believe.
That's right. John A. Johnson Elementary School.
Coming by with the
Parents
protection
and
of the
teachers
police.
and students. And I love the outfits. I love the onesies. Followed by Hope Community Academy, and they're actually located right on Payne Avenue, Payne and Minnehaha.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodies from Hope Academy.
Thank you so much.
Everybody needs a little hope, and it begins with the children.
Hi, honey.
Thank you.
That's actually my
Educating.
son-in-law's nephew right there.
There you go. See what I'm
Talk
saying?
at
We're
community,
only like
right?
2 degrees of separation from each other. Educating the whole person, teaching peace, developing character, and building community. Yeah.
Community
Right on.
of Peace Academy is a charter school, and they've been in this parade many years. It looks like they brought their mascot with them, the tiger.
Right on. I bet he's warm today. Any
Yes.
other time he's overwarm. Today he's
Right.
probably wearing the exact outfit that you need for this parade. We have a little bit of a gap in the parade because the next float is giving out candy, and they always stop to talk to the children.
Now, this is an unusual group here. It's called Boogie for Jesus.
Whoa. Well,
And-
that's okay too.
Right.
It's a convertible with loud music. So if you get to the point where you can't hear us, that's because we're boogieing for Jesus today. Look at him in his colorful jacket. So obviously this is connected with a church.
Yeah.
Do we know
Boogie
the
for
name of the
Jesus.
church?
It might be on the side there, but it's more of
Nope, it just says a name of a person.
here we go.
He's boogieing for Jesus. Look at him. Well, he's got the Holy Ghost today, and that's okay with us.
I think spiritual healing comes in many forms.
It does indeed. And when you include diversity, it includes everything,
Right.
okay? We're all about that. Include everything, because that's what makes you a whole person. It also makes you a whole community.
Basically, Boogie for Jesus is an entertainer, it looks like from the posters on his car. But again, to try and reach people at their
Different ways of doing it, and it's okay.
Port and Starboard. The Paba vice president is driving this car. He owns the Port and Starboard tattoo and piercing shop on Payne Avenue. He's actually Andy Rowe, the owner, and he has a partner, and his wife is very active in the business. He's quite an artist. So, yeah, he does very beautiful visual arts and not just tattoos.
You know, it's beautiful to see all the children that are out today, and it's encouraging for them to be a part of something like this and to see it as well, so they understand that unity in community is what we are all about all around the city of St. Paul.
Agreed. I think it's really a way for the community to come together and be united. Walking down Payne Avenue for how many years now? 97 that we know of.
97. Well, if you go all the way back to 1908, you said their very first organized event, that's a lot of years. Coming up now, we have Kasim Basuri,
Right.
who's the interim city councilman
Correct.
for Ward 6.
So Kasim was appointed as the city council member when former council member Dan Bostrom resigned.
Ah, I do remember that.
Yes, and he'll be a council member for a full year. There is an election coming up, and he has decided to run. There are several candidates running for Ward 6, and Basuri is representing the area right now as the interim, but he's also a candidate for Ward 6.
Very good. You know, we're getting quite a few politicians or city council folks or folks wanting to be a politician. But, you know, it's important for them to be out in the community so we can see their faces when it does come time to vote. Because just a name on a piece of paper never helps anybody.
There's Councilmember Basuri right there waving. Right behind him is another city council member who's running for Ward 7, Jane Prince.
Is that Jane in the back?
No, it's not. I bet she's walking.
She's probably, yeah, because people get out of those vehicles so they can connect with the people.
It looks like she's partnered up with Steve Marches and Zuki Ellis, who are both running for St. Paul School Board.
And handing out candy and getting some schmooze time with the people. There we go. Now it looks like our east side is being represented. East Side Pizzeria.
East Side Pizzeria. As I mentioned earlier, Richard Finch was, and who's driving the truck for East Side Pizzeria? Yolanda. Yolanda
Just give us a
Menchaca,
hug.
the spouse of Richard Finch. And East Side Pizzeria, Richard Finch, did a lot of fundraising for this parade.
That's right. And we just had one of his supporters join us here on camera and give us some candy.
Yeah.
You can never have too much candy. Very good. Richard Finch right there.
Thanks, Richard Finch, for raising the money for this parade.
Oh, it looks like we have the best steakhouse coming
Best
by next.
steakhouse.
Okay.
Located on White Bear Avenue.
Between the pizza and the steakhouse, now I'm starting to get hungry.
Right. Farnsworth Aerospace Marching Band.
Oh, they are lovely.
They
Look
are
at
awesome.
the blue onesies.
Now, I want to point out that school just started, 4 weeks ago, if that? And these students are right on. They've been practicing hard to be in this parade. They're always a little bit nervous if they can be ready for a parade in such a short period of time.
Well, looks like they did it.
There's Tracy Nelson from Real Estate Parkway. Nice vehicle for this day.
I know, really. I don't think she'll by November she'll have to put that away though here,
Right.
here in Minnesota.
It has some permanent.
Yeah, but I bet you it's a little bit chilly.
Yeah, I agree.
Once we hit that below zero weather.
American Indian Family Center has been in the community probably as long as this parade has been here.
Right on.
Not particularly the family center, but American Indians have been in our community since the Minnesota River didn't have a name. In fact, they named it.
So most of the things that are here in the Midwest, or even in America, are named Native American names. Even
That's right.
Alabama is a Native American name.
See, we were bilingual and we didn't know it.
See? You're good, Ann.
Eastside Lions Club. Oh, I don't know how much to say about the Lions Club. They're truly a charitable organization. They raise money and they give it out to different charitable causes and help individuals as well as other organizations. Yeruso!
And me
David
being
Yeruso's up there.
my zodiac sign is Leo, so of course I'm loving looking at that big lion on there.
Partial to
I'm
the lions.
quite partial to lions. Or to panthers or any big cats. Well, now this is a striking color here, man.
Now this is budget towing, and if you recall, budget towing is probably in every parade in St. Paul. They used to have
They get a lot of business
monkey.
from
Do you
us.
remember the monkey?
No,
that
I don't.
Yes, he passed away. He was in every parade.
Oh,
And
is that what he's holding?
He's holding a picture in honor. Those are his ashes.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, he's remembering.
Ashes?
Well, the thing is budget towing is a main part of St. Paul because we give them a lot of business, especially in the winter.
One of
Cars
their
need
tow
to be
trucks.
towed.
One of their tow trucks right behind here.
You know, I've seen budget towing city buses. And I never knew city buses broke down as they do sometimes.
That's right.
They're towed by budget towing.
Yeah, this is one of their bigger rigs here.
Yep. Man, look at this thing. You know, you could put a parade float on the back of that. I wonder why they didn't do that.
No, actually, they offer that to folks who want to decorate the back and represent their group.
Huh.
They offer it every year. It's
Well, maybe
not every
next year.
group takes advantage of it. I know last year there was a group that did it, and
Well, maybe next year you and I have to come up with something we can put
there
on
we
the
go.
back of there.
We
Yeah.
can borrow those chairs in front of parties.
There you go. Really? Moms for Peace or something. Who knows?
There we go. I like that.
Well, you know, moms just don't get enough credit either. Maybe we need to do that too.
This looks like, this is, okay. So Chantel Allen is running for St. Paul School Board. And these are members of her campaign passing things out, it looks like stickers and signs.
Okay, very good. Yeah, we do have the politicians and the city council folks out in force today, but what's a parade without them? They got to get out and schmooze the people, or you won't know who it is that you're voting for. You got to have some face time with the people.
That's right.
Again, we're sitting at Payne Avenue in Lawson, beautiful east side of St. Paul. Thank you. Thank you,
What
honey.
a sweetheart.
Weather about, 60 degrees. Seems a little warmer, but it is a
Yeah.
little bit windy out. You can tell fall weather has hit Minnesota. We definitely don't have any more of those really hot, humid days anymore. It turns into below zero here in Minnesota, that humidity. But right now we're sitting at a very comfortable 60 degrees under sunny skies, right at Payne and Lawson, in the middle of the Harvest Fest Parade.
I want to recognize this next parade unit, Porky's Bar. Porky's Bar gives back to the community. They have charitable gambling inside their bar, and it benefits the AMVETS, American Veterans.
Oh,
and
right
they
on.
give back. They actually contributed about $1,000 to this parade here today.
Oh, right on.
So that was significant.
Yeah, it is. Now, what's this big kettle we have coming down the street? We know the red kettle
yes.
as the Salvation Army.
And the bells.
So, and in fact, we're sitting right across from 1031 Payne, which is the Salvation Army building, and they are being represented by the big red kettle and the bells. Yeah, come on over, babe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's a nice representation, a nice float.
It
I love
is,
to
and
see
a
the
nice
children.
diversity.
Yes.
Yeah. Kids, they just look great, and they are great, and they're learning. Whether we believe it or not, they are learning something about giving back. They're learning. See, oh, this is great. So what are they learning? They're learning that this is fun.
Right.
They're learning that diversity and community is fun. Woo! See? Oh, man, no. They need to stop this. I'm just getting hungrier and hungrier.
So if we didn't hear the announcement is right after the parade, the Salvation Army is going to have a celebration with free food. Hot dogs, and I didn't hear the whole
Chili dogs.
Chili dogs.
That's my thing. I love some chili dogs.
There's a
With
charter
cheese on
school. Academia Cesar Chavez is a charter school that Spanish-speaking or bilingual charter school. They've
Right
been
on.
in the parade for many years, and their home base is St. Paul's East Side.
Oh, look at this. Look at this
Very
float.
nice.
Oh, isn't that nice? Whoa.
I know within the school they have folkloric dance. They teach folkloric dance. They also have violin and other musical instruments, but especially violin. I know one of the teachers that teaches at Academia.
So the violin is part of a mariachi band? Or?
Correct.
There you
Correct.
go. Got to teach, or the kids won't know.
Trying to pass on those talents to the younger generation.
And the ideas, the culture as well.
Correct. Yes.
So I know trabajamos, trabajamos.
Fuerte, strong working.
A strong work ethic. There you go. Right on. Hard work.
Hard work.
Never hurt nobody.
And respect.
Right on. Yeah.
There's a little break in the parade. Sometimes that happens if some of the units have a little bit of a performance. They would stop.
Yeah.
And Commissioner McDonough, thank you for joining us today.
And there goes I love the cops on bikes. I love them
Nice.
because it allows them to be part of the community.
Right.
They're okay in the cars and the squad cars, but that seems a little intimidating, off-putting.
This is
When
more
they're-
approachable.
Yeah, when they're on a bicycle, you'll feel more comfortable just walking up to them and say, "Hey, officer, I need some help."
That's right.
I like them, and plus they stay healthy.
That's right, that's
riding
right.
Bicycles.
Well, they can also get into the parks and, where cars can't go.
That's right.
If there's
And they can respond quicker because they don't have to turn around in the middle of the street or anything.
Correct.
And without all the flashing lights and the bells and whistles, people are more likely to approach them. Like you
That's
said,
right.
they're more approachable. And then these days, there's a lot more people in general on bicycles too. So they blend into the crowd a little more too.
I give them a lot of credit for going uphill on the bicycle. That, to me, seems like quite a challenge. Now it looks
Really?
a little bit.
Really?
Now we can coast down the street.
Well, they're on camera now.
Right.
But they look good. They look good.
Yes.
And this is probably the last part of the year where they can still wear shorts.
Right. I haven't
Yeah.
seen the horse patrol lately. Somebody
I
told
think
me
they
that
they might have suspended that, and I don't know. They probably only came out for parades, but I'm sure the kids just loved it.
Yeah, if they were, they were very valuable. But I understand there's when you're making budget decisions, there's when you're having horses stabled.
Yeah,
And
fed. And
right, the
And
overhead
that's-
costs and trying to maintain that unit is challenging for the.
it's too bad because for some of these inner city kids, seeing the horses in a parade is the only time they've ever seen a live horse.
That's right.
So,
right.
and then they can touch it and pet it and realize it's a real living animal. and not just something they see on television, you know.
The next unit here is Tongue-in-Cheek Fine Dining.
Ooh.
They are located at 989 Payne Avenue in St. Paul. They pride themselves in sustainable products. Ryan Hughesby is holding the banner here. He's one of the owners.
Very good for him. That's another word that has come up in the last few years too, sustainable. Well, there's so much of our world that's just obsolete, you know,
That's
planned
right.
obsolescence that, you know, it's nice to know that we can also provide that which is sustainable as well.
That's right. That's right.
Now here we have another unit coming down that says, the way is the truth and the life. It's another church organization, religious organization, but they're dressed so nicely in this beautiful blue that they catch your eye.
This group is amazing. The Ethiopian Evangelical Church of Minnesota. They haven't been in existence very long. This is probably their third year in the parade, and every year their unit gets larger and larger. And just a wonderful group of people.
Very good. Oh, there you go. Ethiopian Evangelical Church, Minnesota. I did not see that on the banner, but I sure saw this beautiful color that they're wearing. I love it.
They're not camera shy. Those but
Kids.
they have youth programming.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
lady.
I love your unit.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Jesus loves you too.
Thank you. And so does Jesus' dad.
I bet
you.
if we were giving out prizes for the largest unit, this one would win.
Thank you.
Just wonderful. Look at the.
Thank you. Good looking kids, boy.
Aw.
Look at that. But the message is clear.
Thank you.
The message is clear.
Yeah. And these are great because we can pass these on after.
We can. Admit, believe, confess, you are saved. You know, I believe, just loving makes you saved as well, too. Love.
Thank you.
Thank you. Open your heart. Understand what's going on in the world around you. That saves you, too.
Such an upbeat group, isn't it?
Everybody's been down, hit the bottom, hit the ground.
You're not kidding. That was a big group.
As we said earlier, ministry comes in many forms. And
Yes, it does.
That's just the music, the vibe, it just makes you feel good.
It does.
Here's another St. Paul City Council for Ward 6 candidate, Nelsie Yang.
Wow. Ward 6. Wow. I see the banners, I see the people, but I don't see her. She's probably on the sidelines shaking hands.
I'm going to see if I can.
Nelsie Yang. Oh, that's nice.
I didn't
No.
actually see Nelsie. Is she? Oh,
Maybe she's in the vehicle.
Yeah.
'Cause
But there's
these are-
her picture.
Yeah, they got portraits of her everywhere. Well, you know, she's a good-looking gal. She'll win.
That's a very, very cute marketing campaign.
It is. Very clever. Whoever thought of that? Now we have face-to-face health and counseling service coming up right behind Nelsie Yang.
That's right. Face to Face has been in the community for many years. They're located on Arcade Street, and in particular, they help youth. They help homeless youth. They have a clinic inside their facility. I like
That's
how
the
they
most
decorated
important
their
thing.
vehicle.
Having that clinic is probably the most important thing they can do for especially the homeless teens.
Yes.
Because
so
we're
many-
not aware of all the reasons that they are homeless or they're out on the street.
Absolutely.
But having somewhere to go for their medical needs is
There's the
probably something they really want.
Sorry to interrupt you. There's
Oh,
the
no,
Papa
sweetie.
president. She's the president of the Payne Arcade Business Association.
Right there.
Molly, yes.
Molly looks like a teenager. Look at her.
Molly LaFleche. She's her and her husband. Thank you.
Come here, Molly. Come around on this side. Oh,
Camera.
Let's see if we can get Annie to turn around. Oh, what? Maybe not, but that's okay.
Okay.
They got us up here on the other
right,
camera.
perfect.
Thank you, Molly.
Thanks, Molly.
Thanks
Molly's
for
the-
hanging with us.
being here.
Thank you. Oh, look
Boot
at this
Hill
thing. Look at this
Express.
thing. So what is this? It's a converted motorcycle van?
I think it's part. It's actually part of Brunson's parade unit. There's one of their customers.
Yeah, but
That-
is the vehicle a motorcycle?
all right,
What
right.
is it?
And
It's
look at the
fabulous
gas
looking.
tank. Looks like a beer cake.
Well, they got our attention. Okay, between the beer and the food and the chili dogs. But that is what the Payne Avenue has always provided, is
Right.
a lot of good eats.
Brian,
And here we
say
go.
hello to the camera.
The east winds. Yes.
Winter
A lot of
Carnival.
good-
East Wind.
Thank you. You got it. You got it. Thank you.
St. Paul Winter Carnival East Wind. So this truck was customized. It was a little bus.
Yeah.
And they cut it off and made it into a float, and it represents the East Winds. So many of the East Side businesses become East Winds and participate in Winter Carnival. But then after their term as the East Wind, they stay connected and involved for 10 years. So you
Uh-oh.
see-
Looks like he's jumping out to get him some candy. Oh, no, this coming over
Oh,
to
look
give
at
it
this.
to us. Isn't
Thank
that
you,
nice?
Euros.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. But we got
Always-
us a pile of candy, don't we, man? Look at all this stuff.
Always a lot of fun and entertainment when it comes to the Winter Carnival.
Always. That's why I couldn't wait for them to come down the street. Not only are they entertaining, but just so colorful. And it sets us up and gets us ready for the Winter Carnival, which is a very unique Minnesota event.
Now, this truck is adorable. This is Urusso's Italian restaurant, Urusso Brothers Italian restaurant.
Okay.
Fred Urusso owns this truck, has had it since it was new. I don't know the year, but he's got family
The
on the
50s.
truck. There's Fred.
That's a 50.
Fred.
That's 57 maybe, the truck.
What year is your truck?
What year?
76.
76. 76. So I was off by 20 years. 1976.
older than
It
that,
does.
doesn't
It does.
it?
It looks
But
way
he's-
older.
He's had it since it was brand new, so that's...
But the piping on the side, that's strictly the 50s. So what do I know? Senior Royalty Court going by. Oh, here we go. St. Paul Winter Carnival. Senior Royalty. Look at, oh, she's doing the Queen wave.
That's
Yes.
right. So let's see. We have Charlie Moon and Anna Costello.
Yes.
Michelle Nelson. And they're followed by
My favorite.
St. Paul Clown Club.
There they are. I was waiting on them. The clowns. What's a parade without the
Oh,
clowns?
they bring color,
and
bring
big shoes.
entertainment.
And it brings something for the kids because it also gives them another avenue for their own expression. Who knows? We might be looking at some kids who want to become a part of the clown club in the future. Look at Rosie. She's already shaking. See what I'm saying? Shaking hands. There she goes. She's creating the next generation of clowns.
You know, not
Yes.
anybody can be a clown. You actually have to go to school and get
If there is
credentials.
there's a clown school, yes.
Oh, this is great. More indigenous roots, right? This is a Native American dancer. She's doing the, I think they call it jingle.
Wow.
Yeah,
Look at that dress.
beautiful.
Fabulous. Well, that's what this parade is all about. It's celebrating all the traditions,
That's right.
all of the cultures that create the St. Paul East Side. Telling you, we were always ahead of the curve here. Now everybody else is trying to get all diverse.
Thank you.
We
Oh,
always were.
We are collecting a lot of candy today. Thank
We
you
are.
so much.
There's going to be some kid somewhere who's going to be glad to run into us later.
Eastgate Ministries.
Eastgate Ministries.
Eastgate Ministries.
Amen.
Say hi to the camera.
Eastgate Ministries.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
There's Mike Grealish, a local resident, and it looks like he's marching with St. Paul Brewery, formerly Flat Earth Brewery.
oh, they changed their name.
They
I did
changed
not
their
know
name,
that.
yes.
Wow, look at this car. Now, those fins put that
Yeah.
sucker back into the 50s. Of course, I could be wrong again, but
I'm pretty sure
those-
that's
yeah.
not from the 70s. Yeah. Thank you.
wow. Senior royalties come. See, more candy, man.
Yeah, St. Paul Brewing is rebranding themselves
Whoa.
from Flat Earth. And the next unit is Alexander Bourne. These folks on bikes are
Whoa.
supporting Alexander Bourne for
Whoa.
Ward 6 City Council. I don't see Alexander. He's probably out shaking hands.
Walking the sidelines. You're right. There he is. Is that him over there? Yeah, there's a guy over there shaking hands. Whoa, look at these cars. You know, I see the police at the end, maybe about 6 cars down, so it looks like we're about to wrap up
Yeah,
the,
I think,
the
wow.
event.
There's
So
another
all of
big
this
unit.
all of this is Alexander Bourne. So
Yeah.
he's judging from that picture, I think he's one of the guys on the sidelines schmoozing and shaking hands. Look at all these bikes.
I know
man.
Alexander, and I'll point him out when I see him. But
Is that him over there in a sweatshirt? Nope.
No.
Maybe he's
He may be
inside
at
the
end.
vehicle.
Oh, I see him. He's up there.
There he goes.
Yep, he's a little farther from us, but he'll be coming by shortly. He's walking with a megaphone.
And he has a very big unit supporting him, so that's
Yes.
probably why we lost him in the crowd. There's, what, 5 or 6 vehicles and maybe 10 motorcycles, all part of the Alexander Bourne support system coming by.
That's a very impressive parade unit.
Now, you said
A lot of
Alexander
members
is running for
Ward 6.
Ward 6 to be a city council member.
That's right. So
And
we
why
have
not?
several people running, which is our democratic process.
That's right.
Alexander has been out door knocking and shaking hands, and I've had several conversations with him myself.
And now he's out with his megaphone, talking to folks. There he is.
There he is.
Yeah. Whoa, he's serious. Yep, there you go. Well, that's what it takes.
Quite the personality. So he's
Yeah, but when you
very,
go to vote and you look at the names, they are just names on a piece of paper
That's
until
right.
you actually put a face to the name.
That's right.
And he's doing exactly what it takes.
St. Paul Public Schools represented here in a very cute float.
Love St. Paul Public Schools. I'm a graduate.
They have a lot of their schools posted on the side. Como Park, Dayton's Bluff, Frost Lake.
SPPS achieves. St. Paul Public Schools achieves, and I'm an example. Graduate 1972. Our Lady of Peace High Schools and St. Paul Central.
Oh, St. Paul Central, yes.
Yep.
And it looks like the final parade unit is the Parrots Umbrella.
Oh, they're colorful.
They are. And
I love the parrot hat.
I don't have the backstory on these folks, but they look very creative and entertaining.
And it looks like we're wrapping up the parade today.
Parrot Umbrella, say hi to the camera.
There's the camera. Yeah. The St. Paul Police Department is closing the parade. Trusted service with respect. And I just want to say, because I noticed, the first car with a St. Paul police officer was a female police officer. The closing the parade is a female police officer. So I'm getting some promo in for any of you young ladies out there that were considering joining the St. Paul Police Department. It's a possible thing.
That's right. And another beautiful day.
In
for
the neighborhood.
In the neighborhood, right? That wraps up our parade for today. I want to thank everyone. Rebecca Nelson, Leon Larson, Richard Finch, Molly LaFleche.
Todd Fesky.
Todd Fesky, Mike Hafner, all of you folks. I know I'm leaving out some Porkies for supporting us financially.
And Van Chiropractic for allowing SPNN to have the van here and for us to take over their sidewalk right in front. We also want to thank SPNN, St. Paul Neighborhood Network, for coming out and filming and taping this parade. And I want to thank you and DeJoy.
And you as well, Jackie Maddix. This is our second year together, and it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. So we want to wrap up sitting here at Payne and Lawson in St. Paul on St. Paul's East Side. It was the Harvest Fest Parade, 97 years of the parade, celebrating St. Paul's East Side, but also St. Paul's diversity, community, and unity. Thank you.
Thank you very much.